Good afternoon, Steve Georgie here from Allendale's Trading Floor with your After the Bell commentary for June 6th. We did have a more of a quiet session today, light volume, um, but we saw some excitement at the close. What we're going to see here this week is early next week. We've got the Goldman roll going on in the grains. Basically means that they're in the front month, they're long the front months, and they're rolling out to the back months. So in corn, they're in July rolling to December. In beans, looks like they're in July rolling to November. So let's take a look at the charts. Let's see what they look like here today. July corn. Once again, we've talked about this wedge formation that we've been in. We've got some good resistance up around the 670 area. Good support along this trend line as well. That support coming in right at the 645 level. Today, as I mentioned, more of a quiet day. So we'll see what happens. There's still a gap above us that needs to get filled, 676. So let's watch for that. Let's see what happens if we are able to take out this 670 level. The gap is the next thing to go toward. But looking at December, little bit different picture. We've seen these lows come in. We've tried to fill this gap. That goes back the last few weeks. That gets filled right at 536 and 3/4. But we did have a stronger close toward the upper end of the range. So overall, sitting in a sideways range right now for December corn. We're probably going to see that continue to chop around. December is what a lot of guys are now focusing on, just like the funds are now focusing on that. December corn today up 6 cents. So with this roll going on, but not only that, the weather that we've seen, it is wet. We've had some rain. There's still rain in the forecast. It does look like things are going to warm up here next week, which is certainly what we need. But we're expecting to see this corn more than 95% done. And then maybe see a little jump in beans here next week as well. But certainly some rain. But that'll be a focus here for early next week. So still, can we come on down to fill this gap? We still can, but today's stronger technical picture may end up pushing us back into this 550 to 560 area. So continue watching that here the next few days. Now beans, we've gone up here, made these highs, retested that. July beans today down about 4 3/4 cents, so a little bit lower, but still in this uptrend, still very strong. We'll need to see, obviously, if we can come back up into this 546 and 3/4. We did go up and test, 1546 and 3/4. We did go on up and test 1550, but ended it toward the lower end of the range here yesterday. So with us being down again, we've got to watch some of these lows. If we do start taking these lows out, that may end up pushing us quite a bit lower again. Maybe seeing if we can get a little bit, change the trend a little bit after seeing such a steep uptrend over the last few weeks. But November beans, as I mentioned, we saw this Goldman roll. So rolling out of that July into November, up 5 3/4 cents today. After seeing that November trade down below that 1290 area, we did go as low as 1285 and a quarter, closing certainly in the upper end of the range today. As I mentioned, light volume, that's going to be a factor as we continue with this roll again. But we are finding some support right now, certainly with the good to excellent, or the planting progress with all the rain that we've got still in the forecast. That will be supported here on a little bit lower price levels. So continue watching that. One thing I did want to point out today that a lot of guys, or a lot of these, the markets may start reacting to, the dollar. Dollar down about $1.10 today. Here's the dollar and here's the euro. We're going to get into this here in a little bit, but down about $1.10 for the euro, up 162 points for that euro. So a lot of the story and what guys have been listening to today, kind of during the mid-session, we saw the dollar just absolutely collapse and start being pressured extremely hard. There was some talk out there that Europe, we were going to see some negative interest rates. Now that's kind of gone by the wayside. And they're actually talking to see more optimism here for 2014. That had the excitement in the euro dollar, which ended up taking our dollar, pushing that lower. But we've got some good support right below us. We've got to watch that. This we did break out for that euro. We jumped above some resistance. But that chatter was enough to push the euro quite a bit higher and take our dollar and end up pushing it lower here today. So that's the main cause for that. Now, we know that if our dollar goes down, what happens to commodities in general? The tendency is that we do find that's supportive for commodities. Today, we really didn't see that type of relationship, but something to certainly watch for in the future if we are able to take out some of these lows as well. So please give us a call if you guys have any questions. You can reach us here at 800-262-7538. Also check us out online at allendale-inc.com. Hope you guys had a great day today. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Take care.